Hey, what's going on? It's your boy KLA Cloud, the one who are coming at you. Yeah, I like going outside my content at times, and I have like a guest. He's. Why don't you introduce yourself, brother?
Yeah, no worries. My name is Garrett Wilson, and I'm the co-creator of Echo Chambers Productions. And our manga is called Echo Chambers, the Amera manga, that we're working on trying to turn into hopefully a physical book soon, so that we can push that product out and then get the proceeds we need for to turn that into a live animation. And hopefully, this is the artist Jeremy joining them.
Yeah, I see him coming. Yeah. So how okay.
There we go. There
Hey,
we
what's
go.
Hey
up?
man.
How you doing,
There
Hey,
man?
he
how we
is.
doing? How we doing,
All
man? Not
right.
bad. It was a couple technical issues getting in, but we're good now.
No
Yeah, no
worries.
doubt, man. I'm good that you guys tag along. So
For sure.
yeah. So either one of you could come in. I mean, how did this came about with Echo Productions,
Mm.
Echo Chambers
Uh,
production.
Echo
Yeah.
Chambers? I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Echo Chamber Productions came about. The company itself, um, it actually just came about creating this product.
Hmm.
Jeremy made it really adamant about protecting it. Not just putting our work out there and having anyone be able to grab it. So, in
Hmm.
order to do that, we LLC'd up, right, and then
Yeah.
protected the product. So that's where productions came from.
Oh, okay, okay. So you guys basically do like black manga, if I could say that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, just black
Yeah.
production, black media as a
Black
whole
productions in
is the
general.
goal. Yeah.
Uh, how do you see yourself like? How do you see Echo Chambers like in like years to come? If I could ask that question.
Well,
Like
hopefully we'll
yeah.
have more products on there, right? Like more
Yeah,
people trusting us to produce their material because, at the end of the day, Echo Chamber Productions. So I'm pretty sure Garrett said before that we're a production company that has utilized the opportunity to produce our own project. So
okay.
that's kind of how we're coming with like our flagship product. So in the next couple of years, I guess, I mean, I'd love for plenty of people to trust us with their stories,
Yeah.
so that we can put pen to paper and bring that vision to life.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me showcase some of the like the characters. This is
Amen.
JT.
The
That's right.
man himself, JT. That's right, main character.
Yeah. So like he's like a loner and he's training to be like a samurai warrior.
I wouldn't call him a loner.
Oh,
He's under the tutelage of his sensei Eric Black. And
okay.
Garrett, did
Hmm.
you already go over the synopsis while I was trying to get on?
No, 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 no. We're just not hitting it.
Oh, okay. So if we could just I guess just give a base or just like an overall understanding, like it's the year 2053 and the public has, I would say, forgotten or just not paid attention to like an age old myth or lore that we've dubbed the malady, which just means the sickness.
Right.
And, this is something that happens millennia after millennia. And the silver lining in that process would be the chosen ones gifted powers and items from the deities that more so started all of this to combat the malady, and JT would be, amongst those chosen ones. So he's like the main character under Eric Black, and Eric Black, I'm pretty sure he's in the character profiles as well.
Kind of black.
He's not
Oh,
he's not much of a loner. He's a pretty talkative individual. I'd say he's
oh,
the one
okay.
that kind of brings everybody together. Um,
Um,
Had a lot of fun coming up with him. I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of been good. I mean, yeah, it's
how
definitely
long
been
it
like
took you to do this? Like to come up with like characters like him and the story and the journey and stuff.
this was years in the making. This is
Oh,
years in the making. I say we started around like 2014, was it 2014, 2015?
When we
Wow,
first started
that's like
concepting it. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we started making the designing the characters, or even like way
Mhm.
before then, right? Like we can go back to
Yeah.
2008, right? Like
Yeah.
Jeremy's my childhood friend, so like
Yeah.
JT as a character was once like in Sonic. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
as Jeremy would just draw Sonic characters, and then eventually JT became a character that we put in Sonic. Same thing with
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z. And then as
yeah.
we got older, eventually JT became his own character.
Yeah. I
Oh,
basically lived vicariously through this character. You know, any phase that I wanted to go through, it was kind of just drawn out within JT. He's like my baby project. And um so but these characters, they've been created like in the past. They've just constantly gone through like revisions and been given more
Mhm.
wow.
personality, and they've become more structured and more, chiseled out. At first they were, I mean, we were young, so anything that we created, more so, we pretty much adapted it to other anime that existed that we loved. But now it's
Oh,
we're giving this project like its own story. So I think that's most of the fun and
wow,
what's
that's a
been doing
lot. That's a how did you and Garrett would like was consistent because like I try to like write stories and draw it and I I ain't really I don't know if it's for me. So seeing you guys doing that, you know that's really consistent.
Mhm.
it. Hmm.
Yeah,
And we keep
because
each other
then
accountable. You know, we
yeah,
keep each
and then
other up.
oh, so I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, you go ahead. I was interrupting. My bad.
No, because like because you got other stuff to worry about. You got like like you got to go to work and other things as well and stuff. And you ain't go. I ain't gonna be thinking about like just doing doing. Yeah, I'm like so. I mean, I commend you. I'm not. I commend you doing that because I have a friend. He does. He's into the comic book world, and he worked with DC and Marvel and stuff like that. And some things on his own. He has done like character development from like maybe decades ago and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
that's a lot. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say it's all about wanting it, really. This
Right.
is something that we've wanted to do for a very long time, and I think that's what matters the most. Like when you actually have the time and you have the shot to do it, take it. Like you never know how great you can be or how far you can go until you actually do it. So
Mhm.
that's a lot of our mentality. Like, yeah, we have work, we have lives outside of this, but it's just that accountability and keeping each other motivated and wanting it at the end of the day.
Mhm.
Right. So it's just you and Garrett. I mean, you and Garrett. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
just
You
us.
want oh,
Mhm.
okay. So
I'm pretty
Gary,
proud of that.
you just write the story and
Yeah,
Jeremy
so the
just does the drawings.
story and business side is pretty much run by me, and Jeremy is art and all of social media. That's the way we're doing it right now.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So growing up, like what was you like? What inspired by like developing this?
Me, like, or just us.
Yeah, any one of you guys like you.
Well, it was for me personally. I think even Jeremy, you can back me up here. Like the
Hmm.
defining moment was kind of like we just wanted something that was for us,
Yeah.
something that we could relate to. Like I remember when we grew up, and like you asked me earlier before we even went live, like what I grew up watching. Like Boondocks hit
Right.
hard, right? Like
Yeah.
when we saw us on screen, it just
Hmm.
felt different. It was always cool to be into Naruto, to be into Dragon Ball Z and stuff, but Boondocks was something that was for us, right?
Hmm.
And what we're trying to do is how do we capture that for us feeling in the space of anime?
That's right.
Right.
Because I mean, we have some people or some products out there, right? Like to say Yasuke. Some people say it's
Gotcha.
kind of
Yeah.
controversial, right? But I didn't
Hmm.
feel like that was for us. I feel like it kind of got tainted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So what we're trying to do is how do we get in that space and hold it down and be an anchor, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just being iconic in that space, showing that those iconic characters can look like us.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
walk you guys
There we go.
with this character.
There we
I like
go.
this character. He's like is he like
Hmm.
the loner and he's like the teacher and stuff like that?
He's the loner.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah, there's the
Yeah.
loner vibe. You get it from
There's the
him. He's
loner.
the
Yeah.
lone
Yeah.
wolf.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
And Eric Black is like I said, he keeps JT in tune with his surroundings, because the
Uh-huh.
year is 2053. So if you can imagine just how much of a syndicate technology is in today's age, just imagine it 20 years forward. So we have people lose
Right.
themselves with technology today, as in technology was created to aid us, but now we aid technology.
Right.
So that mentality is kept out of JT's mind from Eric. Eric is, like we said, the loner, the one who's detached from society, but he also
Off grid.
still, yeah, he's very off grid, self sustained. Like if you didn't know him, you wouldn't know he existed. So
Mm.
um, so those lessons that he has for himself, he teaches JT so that JT doesn't get caught up in just overconsumption of technology.
It's
So he's
almost like
teaching them like hand skills.
it's almost like the Matrix, if I could say a little bit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
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 Because we're kind of dealing with that a little bit now, with the
Hmm.
AI and
Hmm.
like we dependent on technology mostly and stuff like that. So yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's it's pretty bad. So it's always interesting as people read the story, they'll see what we mean more so by, JT's doing things like fishing or, making like earth ovens or setting up tents or something like that. Eric is making sure that he maintains like hand skills, be aware of your surroundings, and just don't get caught up. Don't fall through the
Yeah.
cracks. You
Right.
know.
Now
So
now did you come up like is there an issue out? Like how would somebody catch catch the would like to purchase a comic book of this? An
Yeah, they
issue, I
can buy
mean.
a digital. They could buy a digital issue, whatever, on Amazon. We
hmm
used to be on Comixology, but then
Amazon.
Comixology got absorbed by Amazon, right?
Amazon. Yeah. Hmm.
So right now we're available on Amazon for 3 books digital purchase, and we're working
Three
on
books.
consolidating those 3 digital books into one physical.
Hmm.
Okay. Do
So
do
that's
you
what
get
we're
a lot
pushing
of
for.
fan? Do you get a lot of readers now? Since you've been
Yeah,
doing that, or
we got some people that's
oh,
reading through. What we're doing stuff like this for is like the engagement to see if like what questions come about when people read it. Like even for you, right? Like you got I think the first 2 early issues of the books, right?
Hmm.
So those are like the first couple drafts. So that's not the finished product, but that gives you an
right?
idea of what we have in the finished book. You know,
100%.
so any questions even that you had about the product, go ahead. You know,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could just because I seen a little bit of it. It was a lot that you sent me and stuff. So I didn't
yeah.
have time to. So that's my bad. I didn't really
That's
say because
good.
I had to. Yeah, but I just wanted to walk through with this. This is
Yeah, no.
Sapphire.
Yeah, yeah,
Sapphire.
yeah.
Yeah. Sapphire is JT's, animal companion.
Okay.
There's always a companion, and it's at this point it's just otters are my favorite animal, and I thought why not, especially in the world that we've created. Everyone's walking around with robots
Mhm.
and floating machines and stuff like that, and then you just got this teen walking around with an otter. Just like
No.
a
Yeah,
living creature. Like
just think about it like
you
that,
don't,
right? Like it's
yeah,
2053, so the pets of that era is companions. That's what we're calling them.
Yeah.
So just think of people walking around with their droids, and that's their
Hmm.
companion, and do stuff for them. Kind of like we walk around with our cell phones, right? Well,
Right.
turn your cell phone into a droid that can actually talk to you and do stuff for you. So JT walking around with an otter is seen as not necessarily taboo, but it's definitely outside of the norm when it
Yeah.
comes to like, why don't
Okay.
you have a companion versus he's like, well, why do you have a companion versus a pet, you
Yeah.
know?
He's a
Yeah.
he's a hipster in that age and time, pretty
Yeah,
much.
he's
Oh.
challenging the norms for
He's
sure.
just challenging the norm, and everyone's walking around with these, like you said, the droids, and then you just and that's one interesting thing, as readers go through the story, the world reacts just like
Mm.
anyone would. Like you'll
Hmm.
see people in the
That's true.
background like responding like, why does he have an otter? Or like what's going on here? So like you said,
Hmm.
it's not taboo, but it definitely goes against the norm of what you would see like walking down the
Yeah.
street in the year
Yeah.
that we created the book in.
Why 2053? Like out of curiosity. Like
Yeah,
2053 was, I mean, there's always like there's always a cyberpunk approach, and then there's always a super ancient approach. And I think 2053 was just kind of like that sweet spot where things still look as if they would, but just with a small jump in technology. So
mm,
I feel like both of us felt 2053 was just like a sweet spot between distant future and present. Is just
yeah,
far enough to where we can experiment with how do we truly believe the world will look. Because I mean, if you ever look at other stories, they always jump forward like hundreds and hundreds of years
yeah.
so that they can
Yeah.
just, I guess,
it's a
completely
clean slate.
rework. Yeah, it's like clean slate. You can completely
Hmm.
rework a world to look how you want it, but how would today look just maybe like 20, 25 years into the future? Just like push it just a
Yeah.
little bit and show just a slight difference in what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have like it's a friend, a guy I know. Me and him is cool, and
Mhm.
he doesn't like having like a phone, a mobile phone and stuff,
Mm.
and it's kind of odd, and it's like I'm like, yo, how you could, cause he be like looking for a job and stuff like that, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yo, why you not,
how,
you know what I'm
how
saying,
they
like
gonna
why
call
you
you?
not. Yeah, I'm like, it's kind of weird, but then he was telling me that, you don't know what's in these phones because it got like it put, from what he says, it can cause cancer and stuff like that. So I'm thinking like maybe before he even said it, I'm like maybe it can be addictive because I noticed
Mm.
that people sometimes even when they walk in, they're just kind of hooked on these phones and stuff like that. It's almost as
Yeah,
if the phone's kind of like controlling them and stuff. So, but he was like, nah, I just don't want, to catch anything with the phones because they can also cause like cancer and stuff, and you
yeah,
might not know it from what he told me. So I'm like, okay. But
I
it's
mean,
it's like I mean, it's a necessity because like even for a job, like
mhm,
just like, just like just getting like a schedule or anything like that, you need
absolutely,
your phone and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
yeah, I mean, yeah,
and it's
and
always
it's more of a
interesting.
societal issue for us
Yeah,
as Americans. Is more
yeah,
so than I would say. Like
yeah.
Jamaicans, they don't have that issue. You know what I mean?
yeah,
People they live in
They
third
don't
world
have what?
countries. I said they don't have that issue necessarily. You know what I mean? Because they're not tethered to their phones like Americans are. So
mhm,
it depends
Right.
on the culture, and I'd
yeah,
say the American culture definitely tethered.
very
Yeah,
much
that's
so,
true. That's true. That's
You know,
true. Yeah.
and
even
that's
look at
exactly where
Japan,
the book
right? They're
takes
even
place.
more. They're worse than us.
Oh,
Yeah,
so, oh
Yeah.
shit.
uh-oh.
Oh, Jeremy, don't react. Insane,
Oh
bro.
no. Okay. No, what happened?
Still
He's
live.
back. Okay,
There it
there he
is.
is.
There we go.
Yeah,
What's up, man?
yeah. What you was saying? What you was saying? Japan or what?
Oh, I was saying, look at the Japanese culture. They're worse than us when it comes to being on their phones and stuff. They're completely tethered to it.
Yeah,
Even their like
Yeah,
social status is linked to their phones these days too, right?
yeah.
right,
So
right.
kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like it's a lot. Who knows? 10 years from now, what's gonna happen? So,
Hmm.
Well,
so
I think
who's this?
that's a
Oh,
constant
Oh
conversation.
my God, Cassius,
That's right.
that's JT's best friend essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
okay. And
He's the second.
what's his thing?
What's his thing? Cass in a nutshell is, well, the way I can really break it down is all of these characters, including like JT, Cass, and then you'll find another one. We call them the three beacons, but essentially they're the
Mm-hmm.
three that have been the most influenced by the malady, the sickness that we
Mm-hmm.
referred to earlier.
Right.
So Cass is another person that's been affected by the malady, and JT is being like-minded like him. Those two form a bond in that trauma, and they go on
Mm-hmm.
an adventure to pursue the malady essentially.
Right.
And that's what unravels the full story. Is once he meets up with Cass, that's when they go further down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that's like the first major meetup, I would say, like the first real pivot to the story.
Mm.
Okay.
When they meet up and start to really just have the veil of the story pulled back. That's when things start to, puzzle pieces start to fly in place once they meet each other.
Like, you guys ever thought about like also doing like an animation or something? I don't know if I'm way over my head about that.
No, that's the
No, you're
goal.
not.
Honestly, that's
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the
okay.
end game, right? Is to get this on a big
Hmm.
screen. To even like
Hmm.
yo Crunchyroll, like get us on Crunchyroll, right? Netflix, even like that's the honestly that's the end game is to turn this into a tangible animation.
That's right.
Okay, that's good.
Eventually get
That's
a
good.
team, and once get that pilot episode, we can start competing.
Hmm.
Yeah. I noticed, a lot of us we're like on Instagram and stuff and showcasing like they either like comic representing black people and stuff like that.
Mm.
Do you feel that it's like a lack of black faces that represents us as superheroes or just comics in general?
Mm. Not necessarily in the comic book space,
Hmm.
Right.
because like I say, we have black comic book heroes like Green Lantern, right?
Yeah.
We have
Green
in that
Lantern.
space, in that regard, we're kind of okay. Luke Cage, we're kind of okay, but when it comes to
Storm.
anime,
Hmm.
yeah, we got Killer B, we got Afro
Yeah.
Samurai, and I
Yeah.
think that's about it. Just to be
Hmm.
transparent, right? You can't really name too many of the big five or big 10, your top 10 animes. Probably none of them are black lead.
No.
So that's kind of what this is to kind of change that narrative. So like, yeah,
Right.
in the anime space, there is a lack of representation for us, of course,
Hmm.
because that's what it is. Like anime is a Japanese art form, right? So it's completely homogenous, and we're trying to carve out that chunk.
Hmm.
Yeah. Some of the and to tell you something, I don't know if you know, but like I think Luke Cage and John Stewart, I think they're made up by white people,
Hmm.
really, with the characters and stuff. T'Challa, you know, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's such a big deal, but like, you don't really see, you know, like, coming up, I'm 47, I
Hmm.
didn't really see like too many, you know, black people as superheroes like that. So,
Hmm.
like maybe like in the 90s, I start seeing Milestone and,
Hmm.
2000 and stuff like that. So,
Hmm.
That's true.
that's why I asked that question because, I see like a lot of like, comic, like, black people like doing like these comics
Hmm.
and they look cool too. Like I come across and, want to kind of talk, engage and stuff. So,
Absolutely.
that's why I kind of asked that question and stuff. So.
Mm,
We are trying to shift the culture. That is definitely what we
right.
want to do. To not just, you know, I mean, we're black. We want to create black characters, and we want it to stand up in like the
Yeah,
arena. Like, we want it to compete. Like, not just that it be, black characters created by black people, but
Right.
is it good? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because
Like,
it's kind of
is the story
like
good?
like Jeremy's one of his favorite animations as a whole. You can consider it anime. It depends on who you talk to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, right?
yeah,
That's
100%
essentially what we're trying to do for us is how
for
do
us.
we have capture that lightning in a bottle, essentially, where
Yes.
we're blending the genres. It's an American animation, but it's also very Japanese at the same time, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
right,
how do you get that to blend well? And I think
Right.
that's what we're trying to go for and what we have.
Yeah.
okay. Right, well, who's this guy? Ragnus.
Yeah, Ragnus is the butler of Cassius.
And what's
So
his
he's
story?
just guardian. He's like we he's very mysterious, I would say so, at the beginning of the story. Eventually, it's broken down at who he is and like what he's capable of. But, we created Ragnus to be that, like it says, all hands on deck kind of person for Cassius. And I think the best part of Ragnus, his entire character, is his eventual relationship with JT. Like they just come from two different worlds. So Ragnus is a very dry character, very sarcastic, very witty, and that back and forth banter between JT and Ragnus is going to be very, very it's going to be funny. We're going to put our best jokes into that stuff.
How
But
you came up with
overall,
Ragnus?
I mean, he's just a part of Cass's story, right? Like, Cass is the,
Yeah, he's
the
Cass's butler.
he's Cass's butler, so he's just kind of been around for a while. Like Cass is, he's pretty rich. He's
Uh,
pretty rich, so it's just kind of like that companion that. I mean, he makes up another part of Cass's personality, in my opinion. It's like they're like a good package duo, and how we came up with him is kind of just. I mean, I wouldn't say it was on the fly. He held a good portion of Cass's story, and the more you look into Cass's story, like
Mhm.
you'll all readers will understand like why he's there and what he's doing there.
Yeah, like he's just a guardian for Cassius. Is like that's how he became a part of the story. And then
Hmm.
as him being Cassius' guardian, he became more integrated into it.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, my friend, Mysterious Woman. I read a little bit about her. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's just. It's not too much about her that's known.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too much about it that's known, but you could say that she's a real threat. She's kind of like the wall. She's the wall of skill, like the high. I would say one of the highest walls of skill in the story. She's just
Okay.
that good. So she's gonna cross paths with a plethora of characters, and she's my favorite so far.
So you created you
Yeah.
who created her? You or Garrett?
Well, I would say when it comes to all of the characters, Garrett and I create them together. It's more
Oh, okay.
so, the process would be what what element do we need to plug in this portion of the story? We'll talk it over. And then after that, we start to brainstorm how these characters should look. And all of them
Right.
have gone through, I would say, maybe like two or three iterations. They've all been refined. Every character that you've shown has gone
Yeah.
through a few phases of like how they've looked. And we've kind of just refined it every iteration. So we came up with the mysterious woman together.
Okay.
So
Do you guys like plan on like recruiting people like when like in the future, like if it gets like to a point where it's a lot for you guys?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
This is just to get it off the ground, right? But
right.
let's say
Right.
5 years from now, hopefully the plan is to have a team
Mm-hmm.
so that they can do it for us, so that we can move on to the next project.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right. So this is
Yeah.
the only project you guys doing is this so far.
That's in
Yeah.
production, yes.
Yeah. That's in
But
Oh,
is it
production.
okay.
our only project? No, 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 no,
No.
Oh, okay.
no.
Oh, so
No, we
No,
got
no,
okay,
a
no, no.
okay.
You gotta catch us in
we
a couple of years.
yeah, we got a couple
Okay.
doozies in the chamber. Seriously.
Hmm.
You know, you guys kind of remind me of the guys that made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they started off the
Yeah, but
same
they
thing.
fell out though. We can none of that, none of that. They stopped being
That
Yeah,
friends.
but I mean, but in the beginning, like in
the
a way,
beginning.
like yeah, they kind of just created it like just to fool around, and then they just start
Exactly.
developing it, and
Yeah,
they got rich off of that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's the truth, bro. Like, I'll tell you, like, what honestly brought it about was my son. I know I look young, but I'm 31, right? My son dressed
you
up as
young,
Trunks. Yeah,
There you
I'm still
go.
young.
There you go.
My son dressed up as Trunks for Halloween once, and
Mm.
he just felt weird because he said I didn't look like the character, and we all know what that means, right? A black man
right,
trying to look like a white character, it's not
right,
gonna mix. So
Yeah.
that's all this genuinely was. Is let's get somebody on the screen that looks like us, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
And they
So
can
when
all be
those
proud
kids,
of,
yeah, those kids are,
can
little
feel
black kids
represented.
running around with like the rolling book bags or the graphic tees that they pick up or something like that. They can feel
Hmm.
proud of like what they have on. Like they can feel like those characters that look like them.
Right.
yeah. It's funny that it still goes on like to today. We like 2023, and we still kind of like thinking about that. We're kind of like kids still kind of imitating
Hmm.
characters that don't look like them and stuff.
And
And
we got to
then
change.
like yeah, and then they do this thing where they'll come up with like characters that's already been used, like
Yep.
Clark, like a black Superman, or what who else?
I mean,
Somebody, somebody
what do you mean? Who else?
black a black mermaid or something like
Yeah,
that.
like they do it
Ariel or
all the
something.
time. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Hey, I remember somebody was saying like, why don't you create black characters? But black characters is already created and stuff, and nobody don't really pay it no mind like that. So it's
Right.
funny.
I
I
mean,
think it,
we see it. I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's like we see it everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look on
yeah,
social media, all these artists, they'll take a character and they'll just draw them as black. The character's
right,
already created, but they'll just make them black, or they'll do something like take a black character from another show and merge it with a character that's not black, and then you get a
right.
fusion of this character, and now it's just a black character. But
Yeah,
we're doing this from scratch. Like we don't want it to be, oh, let's turn someone black. We just come out of the gate. These are black characters.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what Shard like? What's this about? He's like a demon or something.
Yeah. So a shard is just like, think of like the Malady's minions.
Mm-hmm.
These are the tier one Groot grunts, if you would call them,
Mm-hmm.
of the Malady's army. So, like Jeremy said, the Malady is an ancient entity that just comes back through over time. And each
Mm-hmm.
time that it comes back, it creates an army to help fight for it and fend for its
Yeah.
cause. So the shards are the level one tier
Of
of
that
that
army.
army. Yeah.
Okay. So
And the
like
more defeats,
so like developing this like what you guys are like into spirituality or martial arts or something like that or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the latter of both.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
lot of stuff. If you join Garrett and I's personality, I think we become very one eclectic. That's an eclectic individual. Like what
Yeah.
is there's a lot that we do, a lot that we dive into when it comes to conversation. Like yeah, there's
Yeah,
okay.
and then the echo chamber as a whole, like it explores a lot of themes because echo
mhm,
chamber means it's like to regurgitate the same information over and over, to not have
Hmm.
an outside perspective other than your own. So
Yeah.
Echo Chamber as a product is just meant to challenge those. It's gonna throw those themes at you purposely, and then it's gonna challenge those themes. And then you,
Yeah.
as the
Right.
reader, you decide what side of the fence you follow.
A lot of
Okay.
social commentary, you know.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys like have like an artist or a writer that kind of like motivated you or inspired you, if that's the word I could put?
Mm, I mean, I draw a lot of inspiration from Samurai Champloo.
Hmm.
Just the animation as a whole. I really like the
Hmm.
pacing of the story. I like the rivalry between the characters, stuff like that. Um, the storytelling, I mean, I kind of pull from every genre, to be honest. I wouldn't necessarily say there's a single individual person. I just look
Hmm.
at products and the results and like, okay,
Hmm.
I remember how I felt when Jiraiya died. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's a feeling that was conveyed. So how was that emotion captured, and how could I convey that in my own story in my own way?
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And for me,
Yeah.
as Garrett said previously, like, you know, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's one of my biggest inspirations. So I definitely, I don't know how many times I watched the show. Also, Teen Titans. I, you know, I've rewatched that plenty of times. I love the storytelling there. And, you know, it proves that, because what is Avatar: The Last Airbender? Is it a cartoon? Is it an anime? But it still stood the test of time. But Teen Titans, on the other hand, that is strictly like that's a cartoon.
That's a
You know,
cartoon.
it's not an anime, but you know there are also lessons and story structure that I could take from there, and you know I look at that a lot. Samurai Jack.
Yeah, I remember. So,
Yeah, so you know, I pull from those when it comes to like each of those shows that I named. Their looks were very iconic. When you saw them, you knew exactly what they were. When you saw Teen Titans, it looked like Teen Titans. When you saw
right.
Samurai Jack, it looked just like Samurai Jack. There was no other show that looked identical to these three shows that I just said.
Mhm.
So I pulled from those shows when it came to art style. So when people see Echo Chamber, they're going to know exactly what they're seeing. Like, oh, that's specifically Echo Chamber's art. So,
Okay. Do you guys ever gone to school for like art or anything like that, or you just self-taught, or just decide to just do what you guys doing now?
self-taught, self-taught. Really, it's just something I've been able to do since I picked up a pencil, and then just started experimenting with different mediums. Um, And when I met Garrett, he could draw too. He gave it to me. He was just like, "Look, you handle the art, and I'll handle the stuff on the other side when it comes to like the business and things like that." And it kind of just fell into place like that. So
Okay. So who's this guy, Xander?
Xander is it's like first big opponent of the story.
You know, first big boss.
Yeah, the you know the first big boss character that you know our heroes face off against.
Mm,
So his story is rooted in a connection to the malady. You know, he's teetering on that line of trying to maintain like his own sanity. He's still on like this self righteous path to kind of stay within the ranks of the malady. And you know, because we said like the malady creates an army to fight for it. And so Xander is a part of like that army, but his story is a little more complex once you start to read about him.
mm. Is that like from the comic book, like from what you guys doing? Is there like cliffhangers or something like that?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
we definitely like to. I mean, that's how you keep people reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy the next book. Give them a
That's right.
cliffhanger.
Hmm.
All right. I see the like the echo chamber art. That's pretty
Hmm.
cool, man. I like this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Book one.
Hey
Mm-hmm.
man,
Man himself.
So you guys going to like comic conventions or anything to just
that's the
like
plan.
showcase this?
That's the plan once we have physical. We
Hmm.
Oh,
can't the thought process is like we go to a convention and we hand out Instagram cards because like you have to buy it digitally, right? So like no,
Hmm.
the push has been to secure physical. So that's where
Hmm.
we've got most of our focus into. Even everyone has been asking us about the product. They want it physically. They don't necessarily care about digital. Digital's nice to have, which we have an announcement coming soon
Hmm.
where we're going to be revamping our approach to the digital content. So
Hmm.
look forward to that one. But the real push is
yeah,
physical. The real push is physical so that when we do appear at these pop-up conventions, you'll be able to take it home. Hey, it's
Yeah.
not just a concept or a card, right?
Yeah.
It's you have a physical book with you now. It's hefty. It's not like pages. Here's one issue. Here's two issues. Like no, we're giving you like 300 pages. So you take
yeah,
that home and you digest that, and we'll look forward to you buying book two when it's produced. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's
yeah,
kind of where we're
yeah.
getting at. So we're ramping up for that stage.
Hmm.
Okay. So you guys never been to like a comic book convention, like just to check it out or anything like that,
Hmm.
or
I've been.
Oh, been to
Yeah,
plenty.
yeah,
oh,
Yeah.
of course, yeah. But
what?
it's like they're selling tangible products, are they not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
So
yeah.
we
That's
wouldn't want to set up a booth with no
nothing to sell,
with
right?
nothing to sell, So
yeah,
once we get the physical copy done, then we can do like T-shirts and stickers and buttons and stuff like that. But
yeah. That's dope.
that's the next step. But every
Right.
time we do go, once these guys have a booth, they're selling stuff, tangible stuff that once you leave the convention, you leave with what you bought. So that's
Yeah,
the next step. That's what we want to be able to do as well.
yeah. Because I mean, I was checking like because I was thinking about wanting to go to a comic book convention just go, and
Hmm.
it's like that shit costs like $400.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's out
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, I'm like, I can't do it, man.
It
Yeah.
I
depends
can't do it
on,
right now.
depends on how many days you go, because I know they're normally like 3 or 4 days. They'll start on like
Yeah,
Thursday, end on Sunday. So depends on the package you purchase, man.
Hmm.
Some people are buying hotel rooms near the convention and all of that stuff. So it can get pricey for sure.
Or
where
just
you
even look for
guys?
like pop-up conventions, right? Like that's how I was
Hmm.
gonna say I'm on the West Coast. That's how they're doing it out here. Is like they're
Yeah.
called pop-up conventions where they announce a schedule of where they're traveling to, but they're usually just go inside of malls and it's free,
Hmm.
right? You just go to the damn mall and you shop products.
Yep.
That's what we're
Yeah,
looking to do is to pop up at those.
Hmm.
yeah. New York is expensive, so
Yeah, yeah, that's the dream spot. We'll
Hmm.
be on Comic Con eventually.
There you go. There you go. Talk that talk.
Yeah. Now this is what's this like a storyline or I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but
So this is for those that ask, so what's the comic about?
Yeah,
Like,
this
so
right.
is
this
it.
is a story page.
Yeah, it's called the story
Okay.
And
synopsis.
yeah, so this is the
Okay.
synopsis that all the readers get before they even reach page one.
Hmm.
It's gonna summarize
Introduce you.
exactly, summarize, and then they let you into the story.
Yeah. Earlier, before I was talking with you guys, I was talking with this lady, and she's a writer for Spawn and all that stuff. And she
Nice.
was telling me that she for her to kind of get in like the comic book game, she had to like complete a comic book to present um to one of the people from Marvel or DC and stuff like that.
So she had to
Hmm.
give
Because
a
the
sample.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So and it's and I think and it took her for like I think like few years, like 3 years, to
I can say
just
Right.
that.
put her foot out there. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I can see
yes,
that.
yes,
Mhm.
not very easy.
Right,
No.
but even the difference from that one is what I'd say, like what she's doing and what we're doing, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Right,
we're not trying to talk to Marvel to ask them to cut a check. You know what I mean? Like
right,
we want to do our own thing. We just need the funding to do it,
That's
right?
right.
right.
That's the big difference. And even I think what do they call it? Blue Martian group. I think there are some
Mm-hmm.
people that are going around asking. It's like they're looking for black owned media that they
Mm-hmm.
can partner with and create animations out of it. And I
Mm-hmm.
kind
Yeah,
of feel like that's exactly what we're trying to do, but from our own standpoint. We're not trying to ask for handouts from Marvel or any other comic book studio, right? We
Mm-hmm.
just want to
right.
do our own thing. We have a product that we feel can stand on its own 2 feet,
Yeah.
you
It
know?
seemed like it kind of sucks though too, like just working for them, like because it seemed like they gonna tell you what to do, what's the
Yeah.
project, you know.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah, but you're
I get
telling
it.
their story versus your own, right? That
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
defeats the
yeah,
purpose,
yeah,
right? We're trying to
yeah.
tell a story from our perspective. If
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Marvel's cutting the check, it ain't from our perspective.
Nope.
Yeah,
You
You
know,
know, and if Marvel got you on the team, you know,
it
drawing
ain't your,
Thor,
you drawing their stuff. You drawing
you're
Thor,
drawing Thor.
exactly. It ain't
That's it.
Black Thor.
yeah,
No, it is their story,
yeah,
and they're paying you what they're paying you. So do your thing. But we
And
are,
it's not
like
that's
you
not to
said,
knock anyone that's in the industry
mm-mm.
doing it, right? Because that
yeah. I
there's
know what you're
merit in
saying.
all of that. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that guy, but our narrative is just different, right? We
Right.
want to do it ourselves. We want our own people in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Liking this art though, man. This is
Hey
cool.
man,
Yeah, I love that piece. I love it.
that's like once again. Remember, I was telling you about. I mean, obviously, that's the mysterious woman and the shard, so you can see.
Right,
I I made sure that piece was very, very intricate, just so you could see the sizing of the shards, like just
Mhm.
how big they
Those are
are.
to scale. Yes, to
Yeah,
scale.
yeah,
to scale. So, and the mysterious woman, she's pretty tall, but those shards are. It's good for people to see that, just to show how big they are. And even though we say, oh, they're tier one, or like they're the grunts, that
Hmm.
does not mean they're weak. they're
Right.
just they're just tier
It
one.
is she a villain? Like I don't know. It's a silly question, but
Yeah,
No,
she the bad
no,
guy.
she's a
Yeah,
villain.
I sent you the books, bro. Read them. You can have
I'm
those books
sorry,
now,
man.
man.
It was a
All
lot,
these
man.
questions. He said, "Oh."
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Please forgive me, man. I'm sorry. I'm
Nah,
sorry, man.
she's a villain.
Yeah, she's like
She's a problem.
she lifts the veil for JT because JT's
Yeah.
in singing "Kumbaya" until she arrives.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So the things he sees from her,
Hmm.
firsthand, just it breaks his mind like in half, because he's constantly asking himself, is what he's seeing like real? So, and once again, when it comes to like skill, she's a very high wall.
Hmm.
It's going to show just the difference in skill between like main character and top villain.
yeah. This
That's
is
right.
nice. This scenery is nice. I like it.
Yeah, there he is. Oh my
Appreciate
God.
it. That's also
Yeah.
just to showcase the what the buildings and cities and people will look like, and we're expressing that technology as well. So you see
Yep,
the
you see the
robots,
companion.
you see the
Mm,
companions, you see like the drones in the air next to the street lights, and you can see that the cars no longer have wheels, so everything's like hover, you
mm.
know.
Hmm.
Like the Jetsons
So
and stuff. Well, not like the
mhm,
Jetsons, but more
Hmm.
futuristic and stuff. Right.
Yeah.
more futuristic, and once again, the year 2053. So we already expect electric vehicles to take over completely, at least within the
Right.
next decade.
Right.
Hmm.
So push
Hmm.
it another decade, just get rid of the wheels completely.
Right. We'll be using gravity. We'll be
That's
floating.
it. That's it. So that's why That's like 2050s. It's a sweet spot. It's close, but it's not.
Right.
But
Mm,
it's enough time for things to change.
Yeah, I think at the time what we were saying was like just go back 30 years in time, right? And think
Yeah.
about like the 70s. How far has the cell phone come? How far has the
Mm-hmm.
internet come, right? Okay, well
Right.
then let's leap forward 30 years. It would be kind of just the same thing, just highlighted, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So just slightly elevated.
mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this art I like. I like this. This is pretty dope.
Thank you,
Hmm.
thank you.
Yeah,
And once again,
yeah.
that's the tutelage of Eric Black over JT. So even when they train, they're not in the city. They're not they're not out in the open near technology. He's removed from, society so that they can train in like secret.
Mm,
So it just gives that more intimate feel of being away from the everyday hustle and bustle. That's where JT's
mm,
training, like middle of a forest, away from it all, near nature. So
okay. This I like how
Yeah.
you guys put the panels together. I mean, with the perspectives and
hmm
yeah,
Yeah, don't
very
say
nice.
you guys. That's that man right there, Jeremy. That's him.
Yeah.
Art
Well, yeah.
director.
My bad. I'm
That
sorry.
man. That's him. He said, "You guys." Whoa,
as you
whoa, whoa! I just
as you
wrote it
could
on
tell,
paper.
Yeah,
as you
my
could
bad. I'm
tell,
sorry.
don't worry about that. We give each other flowers often, so
Yeah.
you'll constantly see that back and forth. But yeah. So once again, I appreciate the fact that Garrett trusted me when it came to artistic direction.
Right.
He basically said, in a nutshell, I know you're gonna make it look good. So he trusted me that much, sat back, and that's what I came up with. Something iconic, something very distinctive. Like you can see it, and once again, you know exactly what it is. So when people start to see this art style more and more and more, they're gonna say that's Echo Chamber Productions right there. Like
Mhm.
we're
Yes,
gonna
sir.
have
Mm,
our own identity and style of art,
okay.
which is what I
Garrett,
want.
you don't. Would you think about drawing also, like one issue you draw
Nah,
or paper? Nah, you not.
nah, bro.
Oh,
I
it's
gave up.
mostly
I
just
like we. So like I said, we've been friends since I was, I don't know, like pretty much in diapers.
Yeah,
But like 5, 6 years old, right? So
yeah.
back then I would draw too, the same way like we talked about, like drawing Dragon Ball Z characters, drawing Naruto characters, all that stuff. And I got pretty decent. But like Jeremy and I, we were always, I'd say, like business minded to the point where
Mm-hmm.
we would like have a lemonade stand,
Yep.
J&G's cutting grass company, you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like growing up humble, you know how it goes.
Making flyers, everything.
But then as it just came about, we just wanted to do more with it,
Mm-hmm.
and just turn it into something that we would love genuinely.
Yeah.
yeah. So you basically playing your role and stuff, if I
Yeah,
could
man,
say
I
Yeah.
that.
gave it up. So
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I just
Yeah.
ultimately I came to the conclusion that Jeremy drew way better than me because I was asking him for tips,
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
I think I started thinking about becoming a game developer, right? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy, if I give up drawing and start focusing on the keyboard, tell me you got me, and
And that was
he
it.
had my back and I
Very
had his
simple.
back. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's
just
pretty
worked out.
dope, man. Because I'm kind of looking at you like me, like with drawing and stuff, because I'll be like in and out of it. Like I'll draw like today, and then tomorrow I'm not drawing anything like that. So, sometimes it's not, everybody can't be an artist just because they have that a little ability to draw and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly.
yeah, my
But
mother,
Garrett
she
could
gets
tell.
on. Yeah, my mother, she gets on me with that, but it's not always there. Sometimes I'll do other things creative. I'll probably write or.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, but Garrett
Yeah,
Garrett saw that, and he basically said, like, dude, you draw every day.
yeah,
Like even when you're not in the mood, I still see you sketching something. So
right.
he could already tell, like, I know you got me. Like,
Man,
so I
that
can
was crying drawing, I tell you.
crying drawing. Like, you know,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like, it's an incredible outlet. Even if I don't do something like finite, it doesn't have to be super detailed. As long as I can, like, I keep a gang of sketchbooks with me, no matter where I go. Like, I'll sketch on a lunch break, or I'm on the couch like watching TV. If something pops up in my head, I'm gonna sketch it or
right.
jot it down.
Yeah. Like you could show a
Yeah.
couple panels of the comic too,
Yeah,
if you
if
don't.
you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Hmm.
I just see. I'm on my phone. I can't. I don't know. Oh, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
Mm,
okay.
yeah.
yeah.
Get a feel for it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. I mean, this is pretty cool, man. Like, it looked like
Appreciate it.
some official manga and stuff. Yeah,
Thank
That's
you.
that's what
Wow.
we're going for, baby.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're going for,
You would
man.
think.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you think we already out there competing?
Right. That's the
yeah.
goal. But you just to think about it, right? Like again, I sent you this is the first draft.
Right.
So you don't have
Yeah.
the completed product. You have like 2019, 2020 very
Hmm.
version of it. So yeah, it's come a
Yeah, I'm
long way.
sorry I didn't like read like more because it was a lot, man. You sent me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent you two
I
books.
was like, yeah, yo, I was like, yo, this is a lot because I had to, because I'm on my phone and I had to like snapshot it just to
Mm,
put it in here
mm,
and yeah, so I was trying to like save everything, but like I think I emailed it to myself because
mm.
yeah, it was a lot, man. But it not in the complaining way, but
No, no, no.
it,
It's
it was
cool.
No,
it
I
was
got you.
more of a like yeah, maybe it's something to work with and discuss about. So I appreciate it. Trust me, I appreciate it. But it was just a lot. I was
He's
like saying like maybe we gonna discuss about the characters and
right.
stuff. So I got a little bit lazy, but forgive me.
It's
No, you
cool.
good, brother. You good.
Yeah, man.
He thought we was gonna send like two picks.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Here's a
No, we
couple
came with
I
the
mean,
screenshots
whole
we could talk about.
package,
No,
a couple
I sent you more
screenshots.
than enough. Yeah, a whole
We're thinking
promo
about
package.
this character. No, 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 no. You got some product.
yeah,
But that's one thing that like we don't joke around with, man. Like
Hmm.
we're coming with it. Like
Yeah,
yeah, you,
we're not joking around. Like when we say we got content, we have content, and we just
yeah,
gotta put it out there and continue to get the same level of reception. Just continue to get reception and word of
hmm,
mouth and enough. It's kind of like a fire sparking, man. Once it
yeah,
catches
right,
fire, it goes word of mouth, people sharing it with their friends, and before you know it, man, the fan base just continues to grow.
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I wish you guys good luck, man. Like how
Thank you.
was it for you for you? I didn't really look carefully on the IG, but like how many like people that follow you on IG?
We
Anyone you
just
guys could.
Yeah, we just broke 1,000 not too long ago. I
Hmm.
think
Oh,
we're
okay,
or we're approaching 1100,
Yeah,
okay,
and
humble,
just gonna
humble.
keep going.
Yeah,
Humble,
man.
humble beginnings, but
yeah,
Hmm.
don't be surprised. You look back at the page and it's like, hold up, 3,000.
Right. Well, hold up.
What?
Sponsored
What?
Netflix.
When you see a
yeah, man,
post where it has like two bubbles, like the little profile, just like, oh no, it's Crunchyroll and Echo Chamber. What is
Right.
going on? Like, so
Collab.
that we're trying to get there, man. We're just
Yeah,
slow and
that's the
steady wins
goal.
the race. Slow and steady
Yeah.
wins the race, and we got the content. We're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep, just feeding our fan base. That's the best way to move.
yeah. All right, man. What so what do you do like outside of comics? Like you guys work or
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
okay.
we're career men.
Got got to got to have those bills
Software
paid.
engineer on this side.
Oh,
Architectural
okay.
designer. Yeah.
Oh wow. All
Yeah,
right.
Mm-hmm.
so
All right.
we official around here. You know.
Yeah,
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 keep
yeah.
us humble. You know what I'm saying? Gotta
Yeah.
fix our ties. You
Right.
know?
All right.
We do it. This is like our passion project, and we're like,
Yeah,
I'm not like, hopefully like it'll pay some bills, you know what I mean? But this is more so
yeah,
for the culture than it is for the money, right? Like this is
Yeah.
us genuinely wanting to do and put something out there, like I said, that where people look like us, so my kid can be like, damn, I get on Crunchyroll and I go to my dad's anime and I see JT on screen and my kid has
such a
locks.
flex.
You see what I mean? Like
Yeah.
boom. And that
Such a
creates it
flex.
for the next generation of kids. Okay, then that kid
Right,
goes and gets inspired and then does their own thing in anime and production, and then boom, the
right.
domino effect, and there you go. It's no longer a
And it keeps
conversation
going.
that we have black people in anime.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
I
know what I
got
mean?
you.
You see what I
I
mean?
got
That's what
you.
we're trying to
Yeah.
get at. That's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to be undeniable, and we're trying to come in as professional and as correctly as we can, so that
Mm-hmm.
once we're in the space, we can't be moved.
Right.
Oh, all right.
And
Yeah, man.
our careers, they help us. You know, they've aided
Oh
us
yeah.
with the creation of the comic book as well. You know, Garrett being a software engineer, like we had a web designer. You know, he was doing a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He was. Remember, he told you he wanted to go into like developing video games,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
there's a lot that comes with that anyway. And
Hmm.
you know, he picked up coding and writing script and all of that kind of stuff. And before you know it, he was just like testing shit out. And then he's just like, I got the website. What? I got the website. Don't worry
Here's a
about that.
couple mock
So
designs.
here's,
How long?
mock designs. Like,
Yeah. How long you been doing that, Garrett?
I've been a software engineer since like 2018, like
I was
pre-COVID.
about to say,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah, like
it's been a little
pre-COVID,
minute.
2018. Officially a software. Like I was a junior before I like what I am now. It's just like a regular
Hmm.
software engineer because there's
Right.
level to this, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I was a junior then. That's when I first started taking it seriously, started studying, and now we thriving.
Hmm.
Humbled,
So
blessed
you.
by it all. You know.
That's it.
uh,
And
So
like
you.
me being in architecture, it helps me understand, just think about, how you just went over the piece where they were driving in the city. Like I'm
Yeah.
thinking about how buildings would look,
Mm,
20 years in the future is helping me understand like our world building as a whole within Echo Chamber, the Animae manga. So it's like all of these things are helping with the product in general. It's helping it move forward. It's helping us become, more well-rounded in telling the story, putting it together, and delivering it to like the viewers.
he was asking how long you've been an architect, though.
But how long?
Yeah.
2017,
Mm-hmm.
2017, graduated, and that was it. Just hit the ground running.
That's good. Yeah, man. I mean, like, eh, I, good luck, man. Like, I like the art.
Yeah, man. We
You
You know,
appreciate it.
like, yeah,
those are the
because
best. Those are the best
yeah,
compliments. Just like I like what I see, man.
yeah. I mean, it's yeah, because you do see a lot of not too long ago, I was talking with a young man, and he was a little bit similar to what you guys was doing. So he was doing like a little fantasy about this girl kind of searching for music for searching for music that was stolen by her and stuff, by
Mm,
some villain and stuff like that, and it was a bit like a Avatar Last Airbender type of look. And the way
mm,
he did it was kind of cool. So yeah, I noticed like a lot of us we do a bit similar manga, but it's a different kind
Hmm.
of a different kind of look to it,
Hmm.
a different style to it. Not kind
mm,
of like really imitating Japanese, maybe
Right.
some bits and
mm.
pieces of it,
Of
but
course.
yeah, like yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of not too long ago, I seen like some dude he came up with some superhero. His name is Ezra or something like that, and he's like from another planet, almost like invincible type of shit like that.
Mm.
And
Mm, mm.
it's kind of impressive. Yeah, like yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the
That's
world as a
the
whole is
goal.
kind of just looking for more diverse media. I
yeah,
think that's
right.
the what it all it is, especially within our the blurred space, right? I'll just say that.
Hmm.
That's all we're looking for is what's more like us that we can relate to.
Right.
And that's what we're here to deliver.
Yeah. So I mean, I appreciate you guys, taking the
We
time
appreciate
and
you.
being patient with me and stuff like that.
No, thank you, man. Thank you for having us
Yeah,
on.
Thanks
Like
for
genuinely for
thank
taking interest, right?
for
yeah,
the
no
opportunity,
doubt,
man,
man.
to talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, I'm like I have like that inner artist in me, like being creative. So
Mm.
when I see because reality, really, my content, it's more of it's not art, but it's like more of like women's bodybuilders and athletes and stuff like that. So
Mm.
Hmm.
sometimes I get a little tired of just asking, you know, for some of them for interviews. So kind of like want to talk to somebody that deals with art and stuff like that. So yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Get out of your own echo chamber. I see.
right,
I see.
yeah,
Yeah.
Slow
But that's
turn
the whole
away, just like,
point. Like
I see what
that's
you did there.
genuinely the whole point is like if that just happens to you on your own mundane world, right? Imagine everyone else,
Right.
right?
right.
Everyone's just looking for something a little different and we're trying to offer the people who's looking for that different. And there it is.
Yeah. Well,
100%.
I don't want to keep you guys up, but I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hey,
Yeah.
man, we
Likewise,
appreciate
brother.
you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, brother. Be
Uh,
blessed, man.
no doubt. All right,
All
everybody. So that. Thanks you for watching. If you was watching,
right.
all right. Peace out.
Later, brother. Bye.
All
All
right.
right.